Every moment wasted looking back keeps us from moving forward. Every moment wasted looking back keeps us from moving forward. Hillary Clinton. And as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. That is why there are associations like Kids Hall of Talents Foundation, which is an association that helps kids in nurturing the talents in kids. They are based in Bengui and Bamenda.
We oneness, Zambia oneness. Let's join hands to build a one nation. Africa oneness, continent oneness. We need United States of Africa. Let's join hands to build a one nation. Africa oneness, continent oneness. We need United States of Africa. Let's do it for the sake of.
That was our song of the day.
Yes, the world needs a unity more than ever before now, especially with the many conflicts that we're having all over. The use of chemical weapons is becoming an issue as the Western world is threatening to react based on the information that the government of Syria used chemical weapons, and there is a lot of diplomatic activities at the United Nations with regards to that. And there are conflicts all over, race relationships, how they manage refugees or migrants, because we have also a problem of migration in the world now. In Europe, I think that is the greatest receiver of migrants in terms of the 5 continents that we have in the world. Europe receives the highest influx of migrants. As I said earlier, we are going to be talking about Kids Hall of Talents Foundation. It's an association that nurtures young people, their talent in them, so that they can be useful to our society. They're based in Bengui and Bamenda. We have 2 of their officials here in the studio. We have Madam Mrs. Asanga Solange Tengu Aka, who is Quality Control Engineer and co-founder, Public Relations Officer. Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, Mr. Chinda Emmanuel. Thank you very much.
And we have also the co-founder, Che Emmanuel is my namesake, Che Emmanuel Ban Young, co-founder, CEO, Kids Hall of Talents Foundation. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chinda.
You are welcome. For those who are joining us, today we are talking about child development and the nurturing of the young talents. And we have officials of an association here who will be talking to us about their activities. We have Asanga Solange Tengu, a.k.a. Tengu Solange. He's a quality control engineer. And we also have Che Emmanuel Ban Nyong, who is the co-founder and CEO. The association is Kids Hall of Talents Foundation. So, lady and gentlemen, please, would you tell us what essentially pushed you into doing what you are doing?
Good morning once more to all of us here in the studio. Good morning to the listeners of CRTV Radio. Thank you very much, Mr. Chinda, for that question. Actually, the main motivation behind Kids Hall of Talent Foundation is based on, personally, on my childhood, while I was growing up. Like I keep saying, I'm a talented person in basketball. So I didn't know that until when I was at the university level, when I got forced, in quotes, into doing sports for the sake of the grades and. So later on, I got to enjoying it, and I discovered that I was really very talented, like in a professional level. So I decided to,
you thought that maybe if you had started earlier,
yes,
you might have developed that talent further.
Exactly. So that's why I got more inspired into, training kids, first of all, in like the basketball domain. That's how we got in contact, I got in contact with Mr. Che Emmanuel, who was coordinating Bamenda Kids Basketball at that time. So from there, we decided to broaden the scope of the association, not to limit it just to basketball, but to other talents. So we've partnered with other promoters of other talents, other disciplines, and so on. So, yeah. Right, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, you are very, very right. And moreover, we've equally had some other experiences. As a teacher, I had to do an internship in a primary school, so I got to meet kids, and after interacting with them, I discovered that most of these kids are embedded with a lot of talents that even parents don't know. So my experiences with them, I actually saw a lot that if developed, I think a lot will come out from them, which the population will be able to enjoy and appreciate.
Yes, the talents you are talking about, are these just sporting talents or otherwise artistic or otherwise?
It's not just limited to sports. Sports was actually a point of contact. It was actually the first thing that we got involved in. But talent involves so many things. Yeah, it involves arts, music, sports, designing, and even vocational trades. You know, we got to meet kids who can draw, kids who can print, who can carve things, kids who can sing, kids who can play musical instruments. In fact, it involves a lot of aspects.
But how do you get to know each kid's talent? How do you know that this person, because children do many things at a time?
What are the detecting mechanisms that you can put in place to be able to identify?
Okay. That's a wonderful question, Clarice. Yeah, what we do is we try to look for talent identification platforms. For example, we organize kids events. So when we organize kids events, we get to make the parents to register their kids for the events, so that when the event is going on, we have potential sponsors or mentors around. So we observe, and then normally there are winners on each of the categories. So that's how we identify the talents in the kids. A kid can just be playing around, not knowing that people are observing. So we identify talents by putting up talent identification platforms like events. Yes.
Okay, now when you identify these talents, how do you go about nurturing them?
Actually, just like Solange said, we organize events. These children come in and they exhibit their talent. We actually keep prizes. So when they exhibit, we have the winners of these competitions. We now take them and groom them as individuals. We take them individually and we try to groom them. For example, we have a kid that is very, very good at playing the piano. Very, very good. The kid is just 11 years old. So it was during one of our events, that the kid came around, and when we passed an announcement, we discovered the kid, we organized an event. The kid came. So the kid himself came and indicated to us that he could play a piano.
Okay.
Yeah. So we actually set a date, contacted the parents, and we discovered that the kid was very, very good. So immediately we got into an agreement. We tried to see how we can improve on it and make that talent to be extraordinary. We'll try to see how we can develop it.
Do you work in collaboration with the parents?
Yeah, we work in collaboration with the parents. We cannot. The parents are our key partners. We can't work without them.
Some people complain about the fact that especially parents this way are not usually prone to talent development. They hate to see children have some kind of freedom in developing their talents. What do you have to say about that? Have you realized that also?
Yeah, we have realized that, generally...
you don't want children to play
football?
Yeah.
Let me say something. It's true what you said, because in Cameroon in particular, parents don't believe that talent can go hand in glove with education, or they don't believe that talent can maybe put food on the table. So it's this platform is like something that can make the parents to trust that there's a structure which can work along with the kid, because it's stated there in our objective, like without depriving them of their rights to education and normal childhood. So it is very, very important for us to accompany the kid. Yes. So we want to build that trust with the parents.
Yeah, so that you can have a child, for example, becoming a talented basketball player, and yet the child is an engineer.
Exactly.
Because that's what our parents love
Exactly.
to listen to.
Where do you get the children from? Is it just by organizing these events?
We go to schools. We go to churches. Yeah. For example, we go to schools during their normal events. Yeah, we get to talk with officials of the schools. That's where we get children. We equally organize events, pass announcements around. The children come. So that's how we get to meet the children.
Okay.
But I will still come back to this issue of development and parent relationship. When you start, you identify a child, for example, and you are working. Do you have a lot of collaboration from the parents when it comes to the nurturing process?
A lot of collaboration, Mr. Chinda. For example, we have a kid in Bangui whom we work with. We train him in public speaking. He's a public speaker. We have a very good relationship with the mom. When we started this in Bangui, she even gave us, a platform like an area where we can train the kids. So every time we have to, let me say, evaluate the kid, for example, because when we train kids for public speaking, we evaluate them in occasions like weddings. We get them to go there and, advise the couple.
That way you can be able to assess.
Yes. So the parent of this kid, his name is Harim. The mother, we call her Madam Speak. I'm sure she's listening right now in Bangui. Good morning to her. She always, tells us that, okay, there's this wedding here. Do you think we should go and, evaluate a boy? The kid. So she really, collaborates a lot with us. So that's how we want, and that's how we want most parents to behave, because she understands the importance of what we're doing to him.
Maybe our listeners would like to know, when you train somebody to be a public speaker, how advantageous is it for that person?
How advantageous. It's very, nowadays, for example, if you meet somebody, you get to, conclude about that person the first 5 seconds. Somebody cannot introduce themselves properly, then there's a problem. So if we start like that, like everything in the society, it lies on public speaking. The ability to have a free way to say no to this, to say, I don't want this, let's do it like this, to express yourself. So it's just the basic.
Do you get further to making them to become like inspirational speakers?
That's exactly what we are training them to become. And right now, there are even MCs. Yeah, they are very, very great MCs. They can. You may not believe me, but we have a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old that can MC on occasion. Yeah. So that's actually what we are training them to do. And just like you asked before, we need a lot of collaboration from the parents, because the parents equally have to assist in molding them. And most often we give them assignments, we write scripts for them to go and read and rehearse at home. Without the collaboration of the parents, we may not be able to achieve that objective even independently.
Yeah, they have to work with them when we give them assignments to do at home.
Yes.
But do you tell these children what to say, especially the public speakers, because they come out with their own scripts and all that?
Okay, from the beginning, we write scripts for them.
Okay.
Yeah, but then as they practice it, we try to explain the whole concept to them. So when they understand it, they start improvising, they understand what it's all about, and they use their own words, they use their own ideas, but the ideas fall within the context.
Okay.
Yes. So from the start, we must always drill them, we must always introduce something to them, and then we give them now room to explore their own talents, their own ideas. But all of that is guided such that it falls within the context of what we're talking about.
Okay, so that that way they can be based on that now. It serves as a springboard for them now to rise. Okay, so based on that, I would like you to tell us exactly how your program is designed. The program of your institution is designed to meet the set objectives and goals, general objectives and goals of that institution. And before that, maybe you give the numbers so that maybe there are some people out there would like to ask one or two questions.
And you can get to us using 691-352-103. 691-352-103. 103 or 679 114 101. 679 114 101.
Yes, so the question I was trying to find out, how do you design your program of work and in such a way that you can meet up your set objectives generally speaking, of your association?
Okay, actually, we have events. We have annual events. For the year, we have 2 great events each year, 2 big events, and some other minor events that come up abruptly as the year goes by. Generally, during the summer holidays, we have an event. I have a document here, a competition. We call it OK Summer Competition for kids. It's a multi-dimensional competition that has about 14 events where children come. We bring together about 1,000 kids. They come and participate in this event. There we identify the children, and then we set up training programs for them. In December, we have the Father Christmas talent show. It's equally an event where we got to bring a Santa Claus, a white Father Christmas. Let me say that organized competitions. The children compete with that notion that they're going to receive a prize from a Santa Claus, from a white Father Christmas. So out of that, we have other small events, I'll call it small in quotes, where as they come up, we prepare our kids. We have, for example, for the kids that are involved in public speaking, we train them at least once a week, and we train them once a week in Bengui. So for that, we train them once a week, and the intensity of our training program goes with an occasion. When an occasion comes up, for example, if they're being called up to MC an occasion at the Congress
you
Hall,
have to intensify
you
your
have to
training
intensify.
program too.
Yeah, so that is just how we organize our work.
Okay, now you wanted to ask something?
Yes, if I might add something, he said everything perfectly, but if I'll add something, I will say that from your question, you're asking how we meet our objectives. Like our objectives is to identify, to nurture, to develop and promote talent in kids. So we put out like talent identification platforms, which is events. We also attend events organized by people. We try to identify kids there. So talent evaluation platforms are, for example, weddings, where we go with public speaking kids to evaluate them to see how far they've been. Talent promotion platforms, we have our Facebook page, we have our YouTube channel. You know, the video with the wedding, you can find it on YouTube. Yes, so that's a talent promotion platform, because our aim also is to put the kids out there, to give them the spotlight. Yes, so basically during the year, as the year runs down, we have another talent evaluation platform, which is the basketball kids games, which we recently participated in it. Yeah, so
can we have an idea of the age range of children that you use and how you evaluate them as they progress?
The age range is stated there. We work with kids 13 years and below. But then when the kids gets above that age, we get to still remain with the kids until maybe he or she reaches 16 years. You can still stay with the team to work as a volunteer to help to bring up the younger ones. Yes, when we have an event, they participate, they are in the organizing committee and so on. It helps them to grow into independence. Yes.
How long has this foundation been?
How long, Mr. Chair? It's been, like we said, we recently adjusted the name from Bamenda Kids Basketball. So Bamenda Kids Basketball existed 4 or 5 years ago. It was coordinated by Mr. Emmanuel here. Okay. So we decided just to change the scope, to increase the scope, not to limit it just to basketball. So I can say 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
But there's always this fear about NGOs just coming and disappearing.
Yes.
Especially when they have sponsors.
That's true.
So what's the difference with your own NGO?
Well, the difference is what drives us, what keeps us going. What keeps us going is the passion. First of all, we have a strong passion for kids, and it's actually a plan that we can't just let go. Yeah, we have a strong passion for kids. We have a strong vision. So we think that we are going to continue pursuing this objective, continue to pursue this vision till the end of time.
Yeah, you know what they say, Clarence? You know what they say? They say you need to, that we don't live forever, but what we build lives forever, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So we want that platform where, even if we don't exist, there is this platform based on our, our main, like our vision, like what I said. I was growing up, I didn't know I had talents. So based on that, he has something also, his base. So it's that we brought together, to build something that even if we're not, it's going to, like, it's for the community. It's going to be there. Yes. So we are very, very bent on doing that. I mean, I'm lucky to work with Mr. Shea because he has that same push. So I know we cannot fall off the train.
So can we have an idea of the number of children you are already mentoring in Bamenda and Bengui presently?
Yeah, so far we have about 40 kids, 30 in Bamenda and 10 in Bengui. So for those in Bamenda, we actually teach them basketball, and we have a few that are involved in music. Then in Bengui, we started with a public speaking program. And there are about 10 of them. So that makes a total of 40 kids for now.
That's quite an impressive number. So are you just the two of you taking care of all those kids, or you have collaborators?
Yeah, we have a lot of collaborators. We equally have partners in the association. We have volunteers who accompany us during our training sessions and when we have projects and events.
Do you have a caller?
Yeah, we have a message here.
Okay.
This one says, "Good morning to you in the studio. I'm enjoying the program. This is Collins from Ginicom." And Collins from Ginicom, thanks for your contribution. But I'll urge you to try to contribute, or you could send your worry. We have our experts here in the studio. You could send your worry or your questions to them. And you say you take your kids from events, and there are almost thousands of children you meet in events. How do you select, pick this few that you train?
I think that is not a very big problem, because if you go to an event, for example, there is an exhibition. You identify a child that is good. You may not take all the children, but when you go to any event, I think you should be able to identify a child that is good at something.
You people have some kind of criteria of detecting talents that you put in place, that you use in detecting those you think could be potential.
Yeah, we have criteria based on an activity. Yeah, based on an activity. For example, when we want to start molding a child to become an MC, when you go to an occasion, you see a child, when the child expresses himself confidently, boldly, you already start thinking that child can do one or two things. When you meet a child that is bilingual, you know that's an added advantage. Yeah, so those are the technical criteria that we use.
But I thought maybe you take a little bit, these children who are timid. You understand where I'm driving to?
Yeah.
Because the bold ones are already there. What about those ones who really need that push? You can have a hidden talent, and you never get to see it.
That's true.
So what about those other?
Okay, actually, the best way to know your kid is during play. I bet you most parents do not even know their children. The best way you can identify
just
what a
allow
child
them
can
play,
do.
and then you watch
Yes.
discreetly.
You engage in a play with them. You be like them. You make them to understand that you are one of them. You crack all those jokes with them. You dance with them, and then you put an activity. You will see even the shy ones will be part of it. Yes. We don't go in a formal. We don't when we want to do all these things. We don't go in a formal way like in a classroom situation where there's a teacher. Where there's a teacher and a pupil. The children will be scared. You just need to play with them. You just need to go when they are playing their CISO or dodging or whatever. You just need to go and be part of it. So when they consider that you are not harmful, or when they see that you You are not going to when
consider that
when
they're
they
not in
understand.
the class again.
Yes,
That you people are almost on the same
Yes.
wavelength.
on the same wavelength. Yeah, that's when they will get to tell you their inner worries. That's when they're going to express themselves to you, and that's when you tell them something, they're going to do. They're going to give in their maximum best. That's how we identify them.
Yeah, Mr. Che, you reminded me of something. What he's saying, like when we're in the field training them on public speaking, we get to give that free environment such that when they come, they don't even present the script to us. There are times that they present strange words and then it falls within the context and we learn from them.
From them, yeah.
Yes.
They start being creative that
yes.
early.
But one disadvantage is that there's time that they get too playful. You say, do this, they're too playful. So those are some of the things, but
Some of the small challenges.
yes,
that
the small challenges, but it's good. We learn from them too.
I was saying that our guests will be able to explain to us how they balance up the regular academic career of their pupils or children and the quest to develop their talent, so that somewhere along the line one does not overflow the other way.
Actually, our mission is to develop, nurture, promote talent in kids without depriving them of their education. Yeah, and education is we consider it a very fundamental aspect that is required for a child to grow up and integrate himself in the society. And we believe that even the talent cannot be developed without education. So we struggle as much as possible to ensure that the child's education is guaranteed. That's why when you look at 90% of our events, there's an educative aspect of it. And moreover, we even promote it by directly communicating with the parents and following up to see that the children study well in school. We even motivate them by with prizes. For example, we have this event that will be coming up in during the holidays, our kids' summer competition. Prizes here will be study materials, scholarships. All those are aspects that help to promote the children as far as their education is concerned. Moreover, when working with the children, we give them we give them a target. Yeah, we give them assignments. We tell them, you are the stars we are training, and you have to succeed as far as your education is concerned. Yes. So with that alone, the children know in their mind that for them to continue with us, they have a duty to succeed in their education.
And sorry, I'm going back to parents, but I had a sister who always fought against her child playing football. She was so angry each time he went out to play with his friends or exercise, because to him he loved football so much, and she knew that was going to derail him. Do you still have some of those parents?
We have a lot of parents who still think that that is the participation of their children in extracurricular activities will derail them. We
They have always been there.
Yeah.
Even when we were young, because I remember when I was still in secondary school. Even in there was one a young guy who grew up together. He was not in our own school anyway, but he started playing in the second division while he was in Form 5. And there were matches that he could score even 2 goals. In the second division league, it's not like these ones we have today. Mm-hmm. The child's play was the real thing. And he could score 2 goals. He was very small and young.
Yeah.
So there was a French man who came around and told the father that he should give this child to him, you take him to France so that he can sign a contract with a good team there, and then the guy is a very talented, like they do with Brazilians now.
Mm-hmm.
Most Brazilians are brought to Europe with their parents and all of those to come and sign. So because we were not as exposed as the Brazilians at the time, the parents refused. Well, today he's an anonymous engineer. But if he actually went out at that time, because that guy was a star, he would have been today. I don't know whether it would have been at his level even, because he was still very young. and he could score so many goals within a very short period of time. So those things have been there and have frustrated many people. There are people that I know today that I look at them, they are reverend fathers. If I look at the football that they used to, because they were my seniors in primary school. I don't want to call names. The kind of football those guys played, I look at them and say, if these guys actually went into play civilian football, they would have gone far. But today, the talents are buried somewhere behind the pulpit, and you don't know that this man like this.
And that is exactly what we are trying to demystify. That is what we are trying to erase that kind of mindset our parents have. You go to Europe, you see centers where they train children. We don't have that in Cameroon. Yes, you go to a center, you meet kids as young as 3 years. They are playing they start playing football. That's why they are at the professional level, they have everything.
Yeah, because they get to develop their talents younger.
When they are young. So that's why we are here. We know that most parents still have that ideology. They still have that concept that for a child to play football at a tender age is going to derail the child from his bookwork. No. We want to make the parents understand that child can play that football and still study well. And besides what that bookwork can give to that child, the football can actually make the child to become self-reliant. For example, if we don't do these things, we will not. The generation of the Etos will not continue. So that's why we need to start working with kids at this level. So
yes,
that tomorrow,
I think I will still continue in that line, Madam Solange and Mr. Chair. I would like you to tell us, if you came to meet some few parents, in a seminar, they say, okay, these are parents we are meeting today. These parents have some very, very talented kids that they think have talents that you can develop. How do you go about, what will you tell those parents? They give you just about 10 minutes, say, explain to these parents that there is an economic importance in the talent nurturing venture that you are engaged in. Tell us, what will you tell those parents so that they can change their minds and allow you take their children to go nurture them and make them to become the stars that you want?
Okay, wonderful question. It's tough. We're going to break it down while we answer. Okay, first of all, if we go to such a seminar, we would try to, first of all, get to know the parents. For example, what did you do while growing up? If the parent was, let me say, a footballer, a retired footballer, we'll be like, okay, this is it. Where are you now and where were you? Do you regret where you are? Are you educated? How the parents did while they were growing up? From there, we can be able to pick out some faults and try to remedy and tell them about our main objective, which includes not depriving the kids of their education. So from there, we'll make them to, have that confidence in us, just from learning, getting to know how they grew up, their own experiences, and then telling them about our own experiences. Like me, I'm an engineer, I'm a basketballer. So him also, so they will get to, trust us, I guess. And also we have this engagement form that they get to read. The bullets is arranged in bullet form. All the points are very explained and we get to engage and they sign it. So it's something very serious. It's not child's play. So in such a seminar, I think we might be able to convince them.
That will be at the atomistic scale. Now look at it globally. If you were to look at the economy globally, you say that, okay, if you do this in the long run, how can this be? What would you tell them?
I will simply just take a picture of Samuel Eto'o and put on one side, Francois Mbango and put on the other side, Stanley Eno on another side, and maybe some other great artist on another side and say, okay, you see these people started when they were young. So we are here to groom your children to be like them.
Yeah, and maybe, as you are saying, there could also be some talent development even in the professions. Because if you look at even the way some people go about their professions, the passion with which they do it, they succeed more than those who just went in because they wanted a paid job.
Yeah, we mentioned that Kids Hall of Talents is not just involved in sports and arts and entertainment. We actually talked about vocational training Yeah.
Yeah, that aspect I wanted also.
Yeah, vocational training. It is something that we are still putting things together to see how it goes operational. But we want a situation.
So, but how will the idea look like when it eventually comes to
yeah, actually, we want to train kids to be able to do almost even all the professional trades we have here in town. We want a situation where when you come to Kids Hall of Talents Foundation, you want to shave your hair, maybe an 8-year-old kid is going to do that for you. You want to plait, a 9-year-old is going to do that. You will be able to have even a 10-year-old kid who can drive, will be able to drive. And
when you want to take a photo shoot, you go to a studio and a kid
is doing that. Even animating this program, you'll be doing that with a kid.
Yes.
So we want to, if we consider that if we start bringing up kids as young, or we start taking care of kids, we start training them when they are very young in all these aspects, I bet you by the time they grow up, they are going to be wonderful. They will bring in new ideas. They're going to be creative. They'll have enough time for them to explore their abilities and create and become creative.
Permit me take our numbers again. 691-352-103. 691-352-103 or 679-114-101. 679-114-101 for your calls and text messages.
Yeah, so what you are saying in essence is that if they were to be left to be in harmony with the development of those talents that you have just mentioned, those traits that you think in a young age, if they get exposed to those craft work at a very young age, they touch things very easily, they can develop faster, and then they can become much more versed and go further than they would have done if they waited. Anyway, you have a point, because somebody said even if you want to do your driving lessons, it's preferable to do them when you are younger. Yeah. Is that true?
True.
Very true. Very true. When the child is young, the child's mind is open to so many things. I want to give.
We have a caller. Excuse me. Hello.
Hello. Good morning. It's Lawrence. I'm sorry, I just joined the program a bit late. I'll be very happy if our guest will just reintroduce his topic, so that because I followed up halfway and I don't want to have a question that might make me fool. You want us to know what is the topic and so that I can come in. Because I've had some of the discussion already, but from the beginning, why was it?
Comrade, good morning. Yes, it is about the nurturing of children, kids. It's an association that develops the talents in young people, and so that they can, while doing a normal classical education, they can develop their talents alongside their educational skills, and then become more useful to the society. They can create jobs. They can become more fulfilled people in the society, rather than neglecting the talents like we used to do in the past. I'm sure you played football now, and eventually maybe you abandoned that football because you wanted to go and work at Medina. So all of those things. So that's essentially it, and they have been talking about how they go about it and some of the challenges that they face. Apart from, we have a message.
And this one says, "Hi, please help me. I am 16 years old and my dream is to be in a military. That was just from my childhood, but my parents do not like it. Please, I wish to know if there is a way I can use to convince my parents to let me maintain this future dream. Thanks and God bless you." This is Collins from Jinicom.
Okay, Collins. Well, I wish we were addressing your parents right away. The first thing every parent should understand is the passion of a kid. Yes, because if you don't like something, you are not going to give in your best in it. We have situations where parents are like, I want my son to be a medical doctor at all cost. You see, when they force that child into it, the child goes to the hospital, the child, commits a lot of errors and patients get to die. So if I were talking to the parent...
The child is frustrated.
Yeah, the child is frustrated. We have situations where a parent says, I want my son to become a banker. You know, at the end of the day, when the child gets to a bank, he commits a lot of errors, he mismanages, and all those things happen.
And ends up in prison.
So the passion of a child is very important because, first of all, when you have that passion, you are able to give in your best. Yeah, you are able to give in your best. So if I were to talk to the parents of Collins, I'll be like, they should try to dialogue with Collins and get his own point. Because if they force him into something else, he will not give in his best, and at the end of the day.
But sometimes, do you really blame these parents? You know, we have this belief that satisfaction comes with money. And many people believe that when you have money, you're automatically satisfied because you can take care of your problems, your basic needs.
All those things.
So, we have a caller.
Yeah, good morning, it's Neil Lawrence again. And I want just to thank our panelists for that word passion. You know, yesterday we were talking to Professor Collins, who came to talk about, and he mentioned something that professionalism, most parents took it to be a thing for dropouts. And I think what our panelist is trying to say, they use that word passion, because we parents should actually know what our children can offer when they grow up. So as I wanted just to come in when he talked of trying to seduce those who are supposed to attend the seminar by placing pictures of Charlotte or Tofis and Miller and all this, so that when they see that your children will come and become this. That I wanted just to disagree on that, but he has just cleared the air by saying that passion, the parents themselves should know what their children can offer, and especially in the domain of sport or any other profession, because in the house, when you have a child, you can already know whether this child will become a carpenter or not, or instead of trying to impose your own profession to the child can never perform in something that you don't have the passion for it. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is ours, Comrade, and you got him all. He's very appreciative.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that call. I would like to go back to add something to what Collins said in his message. Mm-hmm. Yes, before. So, Collins, I think if you're listening, I think what you should do is you should talk with your parents. What is their fear? Is it that, are you going to school right now? Are you educated? Or are you doing something right now that can give you money? Or that can sustain the family? We need to know all those things. Because maybe your parents' fear is by maybe joining the military, you might quit school, you know?
Or maybe they just, most people, even in the most civilized society, most people dodge drafting now.
Yes.
We have had many candidates rejected in American elections because there's some kind of falsified document in order not to be drafted. So,
yeah. So Collins, just stay focused. Talk with your parents. They're your parents. They want the best for you. I mean, they can't allow you to go astray. So it's still possible to become what you want to become.
You can do whatever you want to
and
do.
About the monetary aspect, I want to say money is not all that matters. Yeah, it matters, but your happiness is above every other
There are
thing.
many rich people who are not happy.
Who are not happy,
True.
yeah. And I want to say that, I want to even to say to any young person that you can be happy wherever you are. You can even make money in whatever thing you are doing. Just identify your passion and try to see how you can make money out of it. You remember there's a guy who taps football.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, so a few months ago, I saw him on TV in Côte d'Ivoire, in Ivory Coast, in Africa, in Koyablo, Talan.
Yeah.
He participated there and even won. So that is when you tell somebody that just tapping the ball can...
Imagine that they give you an air ticket to go to and fro.
to Ivory Coast. It is something great. So parents need to understand that the passion of their children is more important than what they want to impose on them. And that they can make a living out of their passion. Richard King is where he is today because of the guitar.
We have this message. It says, "Good morning to the panelists. I am a multi-talented person with more than 12 handworks. I wish to join your team to pass my talents to the young ones. Thanks. This is Mr. Complex."
Well, good morning to you too, Mr. Complex. That's huge. You have 12 talents. That's good, eh? We really like to meet you too, the same way you want to meet us. So right now, we have various categories in which we would like to place people who get in contact with. We have the sponsors, we have the volunteers, we have the partners. So, Mr. Complex, if you want to meet us, you could either pick among the three categories. We would like to meet you too. So we'll just quickly give our contacts to the rest of you out there listening in case you want to get in contact with us. Our numbers, you can call us on 678-26-7673. And you can also meet us on WhatsApp in the number
675041121. 675041121.
So if you didn't get the call number, you can get the WhatsApp number. It's the same thing. You will get to us.
And we have this other message. It says, "Good morning to you in the studio. I personally attended a wedding where Harim, the kid public speaker, did a great display. I was overwhelmed with to see hidden talents groomed and given way to express, to find express. The NGO is doing a marvelous job." This is Antoine Ndap from Bangui.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Antoine. Thank you very much.
So you have one person there who is...
testifying. I told you about Harim, the public speaker. So thank you very much, Antoine. Thank you for the encouragement.
Maybe it's time for us to look at some of the programs that you have for the kids during holiday, because soon they are going to be on holiday. They have just one term to go.
Okay, for this summer holiday, we have a very powerful competition that shall be coming up. That's our Kids Summer Competition 2018. First of all, I would like to say that during the summer holidays, a lot of individuals put resources together to organize events. But hardly do we find these individuals consider kids as far as these events are concerned. You could have an individual who puts even $1 million, 2 million francs for adults to play. And at the end of the day, what do? When they finish playing in the field, they just go and drink beer, and it goes like that. So Kids Hall of Talents Foundation shall be organizing this competition, our Kids Summer Competition. It's a multi-dimensional competition because every kid, both male and female, as young as 2 years old and as old as 13 years old, can participate in this event. And I want to say, for example, that the only competition we've had so far in Bamenda has been the Top Cup, which is football for boys. And the age range is even just about 11 to 13. But this time around, we have so many activities. So our kids, or the OK Summer Competition, has 14 events. We have football, handball, basketball, cross-country race, dancing, singing, musical instruments, cheer dance, sack race, tug of war, filling the basket, arts and other talent acts, spelling and general knowledge, and eating competition. So this event will be coming up. Will start on the 14th of July to the 18th of August 2018. And we intend to put together 1,000 children here in the city of Bamenda. And for prizes, our prizes, we can't really just give cash prizes like that to kids. So to promote them as far as education and other aspects are concerned, we intend to give them scholarship awards worth 25,000 francs, 24 scholarship awards worth 25,000 francs, and 53 first prizes of bags, exercise books, pens, pencils, rulers, water bottles. And then 53 second prizes of bags, books, water bottles, etc. And for all the children that shall participate to register in this activity, we intend that each of them, that is at about 841 kids, go back home with study material packs worth 2,500 francs each, just for participation. So this is a grand project that we intend to carry out this summer holiday for all our kids. And we are inviting the population of Bamenda that during these holidays, let's not just let the children, idle about, engaging in risky activities, which can bring about juvenile delinquency. Let them bring the kids for us to, give them this platform for them to participate, exhibit their talents, and at the end of the day, they win something that can help them and promote their talent.
Gentlemen and lady and gentlemen out, And we all know that the greatest challenge to this project is are the parents anyway. Greatest challenges you face are the attitude of the parents that you have to deal with. So, what do you have to say to these parents before we go?
I want to tell parents that the talent of a child can as well put food on the table, just like every other academic work the child is involved in. And that the parents should be a little bit more dynamic. They should understand that through music, a child can make it in life. Through football, a child can make it in life. Through a vocational trade, that is, if the child at 3 years starts learning how to plait, by the time that child reaches the age of majority, the child can be able to make a living out of that. So Kids Hall of Talent is here to promote that talent in the child in all aspects of life. They should just be a little bit dynamic and give us that confidence, and they'll see what will come out of the child. Talking about the challenge, just permit me quote one of the challenges we've had with the parents. I remember some years ago in 2014, Solange, where we trained the kids to play basketball. They qualified here in Bamenda to play in Gaundary, and they had to travel by plane. So there were children from Akumlam. You know, Akumlam is a little bit, let me say, a remote area of the town. So most of the parents were a little bit very
reticent.
Yes, about it. So they were like, the children are going to travel by plane, you know, Panga Pongo, all those kind of things. They were like, no, we will not want our children to do that. Moreover, they are going to go and compete for 1 week. They were very, very stereotyped in their response to that. So we now had to take a lot of time to convince the parents that no, allow these children, you don't know, let them play, let them enjoy themselves, let them even go out for this touristic aspect of the game. So that is it. Most parents are very, very, they are not very, very open. They are not very dynamic. They don't want to accept. They don't want to think that out of the bookwork the children are learning, something good can come out of them. And we are here to demystify that aspect. We are here to plead on them. In so many countries, for example, in Europe, you have children who learn all these things. When you watch America Got Talent, you see little children as young as 3, they come and do so many marvelous things. But we don't have that in Cameroon. We don't have that in Bamenda. We don't have that in Bengui. Kids Hall of Talents Foundation is here to bring out those talents and potentials in children.
We have a caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. We are getting you.
Yeah, it's in the Lawrence, but I want just to beg, because I've had some interaction on my phone, I want just to beg the panelists to give an address where somebody can contact them for this type of laudable thing that they're doing to sensitize and see how we can improve on this issue that is discussed on radio today.
All right.
The number.
All right, thank you very much for the call. Our numbers again, you can call us on 678 26 76 73. I'll take that again, 678 26 76 73. Or you could just go to Facebook, you type Kids Hall of Talent Foundation. You can message us there, we can give you other contacts. Facebook, Kids Hall of Talents Foundation.
We're talking about some of the challenges. I talked about parents. What else do you have as challenges financial? Clarice was asking about, do you have challenges with financing? How do you finance your projects and all those things?
Yeah, we have had a lot of challenges. First of all, this concept is totally new in, let me say, in the whole of Cameroon even. You know, people don't yet know about, or people are not yet focused about promoting talents in kids. So it's a new concept, and when you talk about it to everybody, people still think that we are dreaming. It's like a fantasy. So you need to, first of all, show them something. Many people got to, understand with us only after they saw our kids winning medals and trophies in basketball. Only after they saw our kids animating weddings, because we have a very powerful team of kids. We call them the youngest couple in the Northwest region. They animate weddings, and it's very wonderful. Until parents or people saw that before some of them could start understanding with us. So it's a concept we still want to bring. We have a lot of projects. We have a lot of micro projects in need in Kids Hall of Talents that we want to show to the world. And for us to do that, it requires a lot of finances. It requires a lot of time. It requires human resources, which we are not able to have. So far, we face a lot of challenges as far as financing these projects are concerned. And Another issue is volunteers. We need human resources, like I mentioned. Yeah, because taking care of kids involves a lot of persons. Somebody to stand there and say, okay, people should be on a straight line. Another person say, okay, turn left, turn right, write your name there, read this, read that. We need a lot of human resources, so we need volunteers. So our major challenges are the parents who are still very dogmatic, who are still they have stereotype ideologies. We have finances, funding. We have volunteers or human resources. About this project, this is our kids summer competition that shall be coming up. We want to put together 1,000 kids to participate in this 14 events. So honestly, we need a lot of support. So
you're appealing now to...
Yeah, permit me to appeal to the population of the Northwest region. We want to call on all the elites, businessmen, the local-based companies, and individuals of goodwill to see that if they can support for us to put together these 1,000 children during the holidays and organize something for them to exhibit their talent. We give them prizes, scholarships, medals, attestation, and awards that will go a long way to motivate them to work hard and improve on their talents. It will be a great thing.
And you're welcome back. Before we left, we were concluding.
Yes, at least the turn of my Madam Asanga Solange. Tengu, aka Tengu Solange.
All right, that's correct. Welcome back, dear listeners. We want to thank everybody for listening to us right now. We want to thank CRTV for having us in their studios. We want to particularly thank the callers, Antoine, Mr. Complex, and the others. Thank you very much for participating. And we look forward to receiving your calls and your messages.
So, what do you have any message for our listeners as we go? Parents, the young people in town, any message for them before we go?
Okay, the take-home message to parents out there: dialogue with your kids, talk to them, try to get to know their passions and what they want to do in future before you try to tell them what you want them to be, so that you can find a way in between, a win-win situation, so that at least we can have a peaceful environment for everybody, and we can also nurture kids who are, talented and educated.
Okay, Clarice.
Well, maybe Mr. Che.
Okay, I want to first of all thank you very much, Mr. Che, Mr. Emmanuel Che Chinda, and Madam Clarice, and the population of Bamenda for listening to us today and giving us this great opportunity. I would like to conclude by saying that Kids Hall of Talents Foundation is here ready to promote the talents of our kids. So, dear parents, let's be open-minded. Let's not only think that our children can succeed only with bookwork. Then I'll equally be inviting the population to our kids OK Summer Competition, which will take place in July and August for kids.
And once more, give your number so that they can be able to call you if they want to.
Okay, you can call us on the number 678-26-76-73. 678-26-76-73. And on WhatsApp, you can have us on
675-04-1121. 675-04-1121.
Yes, today we have been talking about nurturing the young Cameroonians, and we have had two officials from a non-governmental organization that is into that activity in the Northwest region, based in Bengui and Bamenda. And the officials are Sanga Solange Tengu, aka Tengu Solange, quality control engineer, entrepreneur, co-founder, public relations, Kids Hall of Talents Foundation. And we have Che Emmanuel Banyong, who is the co-founder and CEO of Kids Hall of Talents Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have you on the program today, and we hope our listeners have gained a lot from your presence here. Yes, you can go ahead if you want to greet people, your friends, if you have your friends to greet.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. I want to say a big shout out to
But you have 1 second.
Auntie Glory Deco and my family and friends, Mr. Ngan Kingsley, my boss, Mr. Julius Som, the Divisional Delegate of Sports and Physical Education, MESAM. I want to wish you all a nice day and thanks for the support and encouragement.
Special greetings to you, there, the Mayor of Mbengui, Madam Tembe Beatrice, and Mr. Tembe Daniel, and to the rest of you out there in Mbengui and Bamenda as a whole. Thank you.
Well, we thank you also. We are glad to have you on the program. At 7 a.m. we shall be having the news with Julius Neba, who is already there. But for now, we shall be taking leave of you. We have been Ayuk Teofil at the audio console. At the microphone, we had Clarice Kantewa and myself, Emmanuel Chechinda. Do stay with us as we bring you more on CRTV Northwest.